Let's take a look at the detail for the cars. Again, very self-explanatory, lots and lots of detail for the car. We've gone to the extent of modeling the interior as such. Just to give you some facts on these cars, we've done a count on polygons. PS3 GT5 Prologue specification car models consist of, on an average, 200,000 polygons. Just so that you have a comparison, GT4 PS2, one car model was roughly 4,000 polygons. So there's an upscale of 50 times more detail as we move to the PS3 era. As you said, as you've seen, we do model the interior. We do model body component parts like the bonnet, the front bumper, rear bumper, so that eventually down the line we will be able to do body part replacements or damage or things like that nature. Some of the details that we'd like to talk about is the lights. This is quite an important characteristic that some people can easily oversee. Making sure that we do the reflections, the lights, the lens, how the plastic is molded, for example. Little details like that actually make a big difference in the overall realism of the car model. So we've taken that an extra mile as well to make sure that the realism is there. Okay, so next we will show you the pre-race menu screen. This is the menu that you would see immediately before entering a race. So here Kazunori has taken the Ferrari F430 to the Suzuka track. This is the pit area for this circuit. You will notice that, well, number one, this is real-time rendering, 1080p. And we are trying to take to our extremes with the technology of high dynamic range rendering, our technology. So you'll see that here, actually, yeah. You'll also notice that the pit crew or the driver, their attire is it follows the imagery or the branding image of each of the car manufacturers. So, for example, Ferrari is known for their red. That's why the pit crew and the driver are all wearing red. That also applies to the backgrounds inside the pit area. All of those designs have been created in-house. We've supplied them to each of the manufacturers, not only Ferrari, but every one of them, to make sure that they are happy with how we are, presenting their brands. One also important feature or topic to talk about is, I'm sure you will all remember the opening movie for GT4, where there's a Ford GT in the garage and it pulls out into the race. All of that was computer graphic, and it was a movie sequence that we had to pull together to kick off the game. This, well, as we said earlier, it's real-time rendering and to the qualities of full HD. So that tells you something about the advancements of hardware. So just to give you an idea of what we are talking about in terms of brand image or related to the manufacturers, we're going to swap out the Ferrari to a Lotus Elise and then bring it back to the pit. So straight off, you will immediately see the difference where the image colors of Lotus are traditionally green and yellow. And so the pit design, the atmosphere, the gear that they're wearing, everything will synchronize with each of the brands that are represented in the game. It's also something to note is that this pit menu or pre-race menu, obviously this is the Suzuka circuit. We will feature other tracks. Other tracks have different layouts or different characteristics for their pit area, so those will be featured as well. At the bottom is obviously the different variants of race or activities that you can experience. So now Kazunari will change cars again and show you some of the in-game experience that you can take or enjoy in GT5 Prologue. Just before going into the race, there's one factor that we would like to talk about is the physics. From this time around, we've started from scratch with the physics as well. And we have two different types of physics modes or physics performances. One being standard. What standard is it's quite variable. It's applicable to the beginners or the novice players all the way up to maybe the intermediate players. It's still very accurate. It's still very state-of-the-art simulation in terms of GT standards, but it's a little more forgiving. Again, so it's designed for the beginners or the intermediate players. Professional is the other extreme where people are more enthusiastic about their driving. They want to improve their driving skills. They want the ultimate simulation. Standard is more forgiving to mistakes. Professional mistake, you either spin out or you mess up your lap. Across the 10 years of our franchise now, we've received multiple feedback from our users, which we are very appreciative of course. But we've noticed that there's a tendency of two extremes. There's one side who say, we love your game, the appearance is great, but with the controller in my hands, I'm not very good at driving in your game, I'm sorry. Please, can you make it easier? Then there's the other extreme who have either followed the franchise very, they're the hardcore GT fans or the hardcore car enthusiasts who really just want to improve their driving skills. Those half are saying, we want more. We want more simulation. We want the ultimate accuracy that you can provide. And so we've decided to kind of branch it out. Standard being more open to a wider audience, whereas professional is for the people who really want to improve.